Meeting Lily, the girl who loved adventures. Lily was a girl with bright eyes and a thirst for adventure. From a very young age, she was always curious about the world around her. She would spend hours exploring her backyard, imagining it was a vast jungle filled with hidden treasures and mysterious creatures. Her parents often found her with dirt on her hands and a smile on her face, lost in her own world of make-believe. She loved stories of faraway lands and dreamt of magical creatures. Books were her gateway to these fantastical worlds. She would sit under the old oak tree in her backyard, reading tales of brave knights, enchanted forests, and mythical beasts. Each story fueled her imagination, making her yearn for adventures of her own. She often daydreamed about meeting fairies, dragons, and other magical beings. Her small town, while cozy, felt a little too ordinary for a girl like Lily. The streets were quiet, the people friendly, and the days predictable. While many found comfort in the routine, Lily longed for something more. She would often gaze out of her bedroom window, wondering what lay beyond the horizon. The world outside seemed so vast and full of possibilities, and she was determined to discover them. One sunny afternoon, while exploring the woods behind her house, Lily stumbled upon something extraordinary. The woods were her favorite place to explore. She loved the way the sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor. She would follow the winding paths, listening to the chirping of birds and the rustling of leaves. But on this particular day, something caught her eye. It was a tree, but not just any tree. This tree was unlike any she had ever seen before. It stood tall and majestic, its trunk wide and gnarled with age. The bark was rough to the touch, and the roots seemed to anchor it firmly to the ground. It was as if the tree had been there for centuries, silently watching over the forest. This tree was colossal, with branches reaching towards the sky like giant arms. The branches were thick and sturdy, covered in lush green leaves that rustled gently in the breeze. It was as if the tree was alive, breathing and whispering secrets to those who would listen. Lily felt a sense of awe and wonder as she stood before it, her heart pounding with excitement. And nestled high up in its branches, almost hidden amongst the leaves, was a treehouse. It was a small wooden structure, weathered by time but still sturdy. The treehouse seemed to blend seamlessly with the tree, as if it had grown there naturally. The windows were small and round, and the door was slightly ajar, inviting Lily to come closer and explore. But this was no ordinary treehouse. There was something magical about it, something that made Lily's heart race with anticipation. The air around it seemed to shimmer with a faint golden light, and she could hear a soft, melodic hum coming from within. It was as if the treehouse was alive, waiting for someone to discover its secrets. This treehouse seemed to hum with a life of its own, whispering secrets to the wind. The wind carried the whispers through the leaves, creating a symphony of sounds that filled the air. Lily felt a sense of wonder and excitement as she listened, her imagination running wild with possibilities. What secrets did the treehouse hold? What adventures awaited her inside? Lily's heart pounded with excitement. She could hardly contain her curiosity as she approached the treehouse. Her mind raced with thoughts of what she might find inside. Would there be hidden treasures, magical creatures, or perhaps a portal to another world? The possibilities were endless, and she was eager to discover them all. She just knew this treehouse held the promise of adventure. With a deep breath, she took her first step towards the treehouse, ready to embark on a journey that would change her life forever. The world was full of mysteries, and Lily was determined to uncover them all. This was just the beginning of her grand adventure. Lily, unable to resist the call of the unknown, carefully climbed the tree. The branches felt strong and steady beneath her hands, as if the tree itself was inviting her up. As she climbed higher, the air grew warm and shimmered with an unseen light. Whispers seemed to dance on the wind, beckoning her closer to the treehouse. Finally, she reached the top and stood before a small wooden door. The door was intricately carved with images of fantastical creatures, winged horses, mischievous fairies, and tiny dragons with sparkling scales. The doorknob, made of polished brass, seemed to glow with a light of its own. With a deep breath and a heart full of anticipation, Lily reached out and turned the handle. The door swung open, revealing a sight that took Lily's breath away. The inside of the treehouse was bigger than she could have imagined, stretching out before her like a whole new world. There were rooms filled with bookshelves that touched the ceiling, their shelves overflowing with books bound in leather and velvet. There were maps adorned with sparkling jewels that charted lands beyond imagination. In one corner, a group of squirrels chattered excitedly, their tiny voices surprisingly clear. A silver-furred cat lounged on a velvet cushion, its emerald eyes twinkling with amusement. A winding staircase made of polished wood and shimmering crystal led to an upper level. Lily, her head spinning with wonder, took a tentative step inside. The adventure had begun. Section 4: The Lost Kitten and the Lesson of Kindness. As Lily explored the magical treehouse, she came across a tiny, whimpering sound. The treehouse was filled with hidden nooks and crannies, each corner holding a new surprise. Lily had always been curious, and today was no different. She had spent hours wandering through the treehouse, marveling at its wonders. But this sound was different. It was soft, almost like a whisper, and it tugged at her heartstrings. In a corner, huddled beneath a pile of soft blankets, was a small, fluffy kitten. Its fur was a mix of white and gray, and it looked so fragile. The kitten's tiny body shivered, and it seemed to be seeking warmth and comfort. Lily's eyes widened in surprise. She had never seen such a small creature in the treehouse before. The kitten's presence added a new layer of magic to the already enchanting place. It was lost and alone, its big blue eyes filled with fear. The kitten's eyes were like two deep pools of blue, reflecting its anxiety and confusion. It looked up at Lily with a pleading expression, as if asking for help. Lily felt a pang of sadness. She couldn't imagine how the kitten had ended up here, all alone and scared. The treehouse, usually a place of joy and discovery, now felt like a refuge for this tiny, lost soul. Lily's heart melted with compassion. She had always been a kind-hearted girl, and seeing the kitten in such a state brought out her nurturing instincts. She knew she had to do something to help. The kitten's vulnerability reminded her of the importance of kindness and empathy. In that moment, Lily made a silent promise to herself to take care of the kitten and ensure its safety. She gently picked up the kitten and cradled it in her arms. The kitten was so light, almost weightless, and it fit perfectly in her embrace. Lily could feel its tiny heartbeat against her chest, and she whispered soothing words to calm it down. The kitten's initial fear began to dissipate, replaced by a sense of security. Lily's gentle touch and soft voice worked like magic, easing the kitten's anxiety. The kitten, soothed by her touch, nuzzled its head against her cheek and purred softly. The sound of the purring was like a gentle melody, filling the treehouse with a sense of peace. Lily smiled, feeling a warm glow of happiness. She had made a new friend, and the bond between them was growing stronger with each passing moment. The kitten's trust in her was a precious gift, and Lily cherished it deeply. Lily knew she couldn't leave the kitten behind. The thought of the kitten being alone again was unbearable. She felt a strong sense of responsibility and determination. Lily decided that she would do everything in her power to find the kitten's home or provide it with a new one. She couldn't ignore the bond they had formed, and she was committed to ensuring the kitten's well-being. She searched the treehouse for something to help it, eventually finding a small basket lined with soft moss. The basket was perfect, just the right size for the kitten. Lily carefully placed the kitten inside, making sure it was comfortable. The soft moss provided a cozy bed, and the kitten curled up contentedly. Lily felt a sense of accomplishment. She had created a safe space for the kitten, a little haven within the magical treehouse. She gently placed the kitten inside, promising to find its way home. Lily's promise was heartfelt. She knew that the journey ahead might be challenging, but she was ready to face it. The kitten's trust in her gave her strength and motivation. Lily felt a deep sense of purpose. She was not just exploring the treehouse, she was on a mission to help a friend in need. As she cared for the lost kitten, Lily realized that even in a place filled with magic and wonder, acts of kindness were just as important. The treehouse had taught her many things, but this lesson was the most valuable. Kindness had the power to transform lives, to bring comfort and joy. Lily understood that her actions, no matter how small, could make a big difference. She felt a sense of fulfillment, knowing that she was making the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time. The magical treehouse wasn't just about adventure, it was about learning to be a better person. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the treehouse, Lily felt a deep sense of peace. She had discovered a new dimension to the magic of the treehouse. It was a place where she could grow, learn, and become a better version of herself. The treehouse was a sanctuary of wisdom, teaching her the true meaning of kindness and compassion. And as she looked at the kitten, now peacefully asleep in the basket, Lily knew that this was just the beginning of many more adventures and lessons to come. Section 5. The sun sets on the magical treehouse. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows through the treehouse windows, the entire place seemed to glow with a golden hue. The light danced on the wooden walls, creating an almost ethereal atmosphere that made the treehouse feel even more magical than it had during the day. Lily knew it was time to go. She had spent hours exploring every nook and cranny of this enchanting place, and now, as the day came to an end, she felt a bittersweet pang in her heart. She wished she could stay longer, but she knew she had to return home. She had experienced so much in just one afternoon, her head and heart overflowing with memories. From the moment she had discovered the treehouse, hidden away in the depths of the forest, to the magical adventures she had within its walls, every second had been filled with wonder and excitement. She carefully placed the basket with the sleeping kitten inside by the treehouse door, making sure it was in a safe spot. The kitten had been her companion throughout the day, and she hoped that whoever owned this magical place would find it and reunite it with its family. She took a moment to look at the kitten one last time. It was peacefully asleep, completely unaware of the day's adventures. Lily smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment and responsibility. Taking one last look around, Lily tried to imprint every detail of the treehouse in her memory. The way the light filtered through the leaves, the smell of the wood, the sounds of the forest outside, she wanted to remember it all. Lily whispered a heartfelt thank you to the magical treehouse for the incredible adventure. She felt a deep sense of gratitude for the experiences she had and the lessons she had learned. It was as if the treehouse had a soul, and she wanted to acknowledge it. Then, she carefully climbed back down the tree, her steps lighter than ever before. Each step felt like a farewell, but also a promise to return. She knew this wouldn't be her last visit to the magical treehouse. The woods seemed different now, alive with a magic she had never noticed before. The trees whispered secrets, and the air was filled with a sense of enchantment. It was as if the forest itself had been transformed by her adventure. Lily knew she would never forget this day or the lessons she had learned. The magical treehouse had given her more than just an adventure. It had given her a new perspective on the world. As she walked through the woods, she felt a sense of wonder and possibility, knowing that magic could be found in the most unexpected places.